Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is my audio, is my voice clear, or is there some kind of a noise?
Sir, it
No,
is
sir.
clear.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, okay, my name is Karthik. So I am a part of the course support team, and I'll be taking this session for Python. Let me just delete this. Okay, so I'll very briefly turn on my video so that you all know who is there on this side. Okay, so usually I turn my video off. So just to get an idea of who is on this side. All right, so I think you have all done this PPAs for week 1, right? So am I correct? PPAs for week 1 is over.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll kind of keep it a bit open, this particular session. So it's more of an open session kind of thing, and we'll also discuss some 3 problems I have. We can go over them, right? So I'll just begin by quickly summarizing the concepts that have been covered in week 1. You can stop me if you have any questions on the same. So that is point number 1 that we'll be doing. And then I'll go ahead and discuss these 3 problems that I have for you. That is the second thing that I'll be doing. If we still have time, then I'll probably begin discussing some concepts from week 2. Okay, so I'll move on to week 2, the theoretical part of it, in case we have time and there are no more questions. All right, so week 1 is all about, say, variables, different types of variables, basic expressions in Python, what are operators. Then you also saw something about strings, how to index strings, how to slice them, how to concatenate 2 strings, and so on. Right? So,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
So, like, do we have to be registering to the contest?
No. Sorry, I'll just declare this right at the beginning. Please avoid asking anything related to CodeChef, right? So CodeChef will separately communicate it. There is one instructor, Omkar Joshi, who is in charge of the CodeChef operations for Python. So he will contact you. So at the very least, we will put out an announcement.
Sir, week 2 content is not available in the portal.
It will be available on Monday, by Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. So kindly restrict yourself for now to course technical queries.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Alright.
sir. As you said, if you have time, you will be starting with week 2. But
yeah, if I have time, I'll do week 2. If you're all very clear about week 1 concepts, then I'll just move on.
No, we are not having the content in hand.
That is fine. I'll just warm you up to whatever is going to come in.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm sure you would all have seen what variables are, right? So we have different types of variables: integers, float values, characters, string. Yeah. So yeah, this is a string, right? Not really a character, but so strings, and then you also had booleans, right? So these are, broadly speaking, the 4 types of variables or that we'll be dealing with in this course. Okay, so you can assign variables, you can assign values to variables, you can update them. All these things are possible. So maybe rather than just talking, once in a while I'll ask questions.
So, like
yeah.
how you just mentioned that only one letter A is called a string, no matter what, even it's a one character. I mean, like one letter.
Right.
So actually, I know a little bit of Java. So in Java, one letter is considered to be character, and a string and a stream of characters is a string. So in Python, everything with regarding words in double quotations or quotations is called a string, no
Yeah,
matter what.
yeah, true. Everything in Python is a string,
Okay.
no matter how many
So there's no
characters are there.
concept of character here. in
No,
this
no,
Python.
there is no concept of character. We only have a string, but of course, characters are implicit, right? So in order to get a string, you need to have a sequence
Yeah,
of characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
I'll just go ahead and I'll do it in a question and answer format. So if I run this code, right, what will come here? What will happen?
Nothing.
X.
Nothing.
I think it's
Invalid.
No, sir,
error.
nothing.
Error.
Because X is
Syntax
nothing.
error.
It will
Error. Yeah.
Okay, error. Okay, I get error. I got another answer as nothing and
Invalid.
Nothing in
Okay.
nothing meaning error.
okay. So
Default value.
okay, so I have three answers. One is error, one is nothing, and another one is default value. So
Variable is not defined.
okay, so variable is not defined. So I'll assume that goes under the error category. So if let's say that it throws an error, what error is it going to throw?
Syntax error.
X is not defined.
Yeah, X is not defined.
X is
Syntax
not
is right.
X is not
X is
defined.
Nothing.
Okay.
Right.
X is not
If it's
defined.
quotations, it can print X.
Okay, so there is one point. So this I again got two answers. One is X is not defined, and the other answer I got was syntax error, right? So let's first run it and see what happens. So we get what is called a name
X
error,
is not,
right?
yeah, name
Yeah, so
X is not defined.
X is not defined. This thing is called a name error.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to note that this is not a syntax error, right? So syntax error is something like this, right? Where I open a bracket and I leave it, I don't close it. Then I get a syntax error, right? So this is whatever I have written now is proper Python syntax. Okay, it is you are trying to access a variable which is not defined before, right? So that is a name error. Okay, so this you all seem to know. Okay, so that is one aspect of variables which I wanted to stress. What else? So how do I get the type of a variable? Say X is some variable.
Print
Type bracket.
print
variable.
print type and
The variable
inside the
which
bracket
you want to
write
know.
variable name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Variable name.
And first we have to define the variable.
define the variable,
Yeah.
yes.
First define.
Okay. All right. So this also you seem to know.
Yeah, right.
So variables and types are more or less clear. Okay. What else do we have? Expressions, right? So expressions, do you have? So I think it's easier to ask if you have any questions, then we can go that way rather than me speaking. So do you have any doubts with respect to Python expressions?
No, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay.
This way is very good, sir.
Sure,
Okay.
but what it mean by .md file? .md.
.md it's called a markdown file. So the you can, it's like useful when it comes to taking notes.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, so expressions, strings. Okay, strings. Are you all clear about how you index strings? How you slice strings?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let me give you a quick. Let me ask you a simple question. Okay, so given the string, I want to extract all the characters after the decimal point. So can you tell me how I want to print something, and this something should be all the characters after the decimal point. So how do I do that?
We can print from -1 to -4.
-1 to -3.
4 columns.
Sir,
Yes.
a big bracket
Zero, one.
minus
Square
1
bracket.
to -4.
Okay.
X bracket.
-1.
-4 is
4 is to
stop.
7. 4 is to 7, sir.
4 is to 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so interesting.
All right. So that
Eight.
what
4 is to
other?
8, I think.
So not
4 is
4
to
is
8.
to 7, so 5 is to 8.
No,
4
this
is
is
to 8.
correct, right? So
-1 to -3.
this is what I wanted. So 4, 5,
Minus-
and everything after the decimal point is what I wanted. So
-1 to -3.
okay, mine.
There
So
is
we
no
can
need to include 7, I think.
Yes,
Okay.
we
Yes,
don't
yes,
need to
7.
include 7.
All
7.
right. Why is that?
I mean, like it
Because
anyway has to
we
go
Because
till
it
the
will go
end.
till the end.
all
It
variables
will
Yes,
start
sir.
from the
It
fourth
will
position
go.
and it will go to till the end.
All right. Okay. All right. So
In
can
that
I?
condition, we don't need to count how many uh, numbers after the
Letters we have.
point. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So suppose I want to change this 4 to some other number. What number can I add here?
-4.
-4. -4.
-3.
-3. Minus
Yes, -3.
All right. Okay. So that is -3. Yeah. I think you are clear with this also.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
In here, just 1 second, I have background noise.
So it says
Sorry. It's
-3.
-3 and open-ended will give us 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. -3 and open-ended will give you everything after that index, starting from that index and till the end.
It will only give 5, 6 according to me.
1 second. I have someone who is. Yeah. So sir, there was someone was asking a question. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, according to me, it might only print 5, 6. I don't
No, right?
think
This
4.
I just ran the code, so it prints 4, 5, 6. See, this is -1, -2, -3, right? So 6 is -1, 5 is -2, 4 is -3. So starting from -3, you're asking it to print everything after that.
No. Before we mentioned it 4 and 7, right?
Yeah, that
So-
was 4 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, but the fourth character is full stop there. So
No, right? This is not the fourth
from
character.
the-
This is the fifth character.
Yeah, that is third one.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
0 indexing, right? So we use 0 indexing for strings. So we start from
Okay,
0
yeah.
and
Right.
okay. So
Yes, sir.
Sir,
indexing.
-3, how it
Sir,
will
one
work? Can you
question.
show it?
Can we do the
Can you
same?
show it -3?
Negative
then show-
indexing. -1, -2, -3. -3 is 4.
-3 will start from 3 characters to the left and then everything after that.
Sir, can you put once -1 at the
How it
second
is
position?
defined that it is after that, or it is going backward? Because -3 is like counting backward.
Yeah, -3 is counting backward.
So how it is defined here that this is counting backward? So why it is not taking -3, -2, or maybe -4, -5? Which side it should go? How it is decided?
-3 is less
-3
than
means,
-2, right?
right to left.
You're
Yes, sir. It is less than -2.
yeah, you're on the number line, right? So think about the number line. This is
Yes,
what.
sir. I can understand. So we are starting from -3, and we have not told till which side we should go.
That's what I'm saying, right? You are on the number line.
Yes, sir.
So the syntax is string left to right, right? So whatever, no matter what you write, whatever numbers you write here, it's left to right. That's the syntax. So -3 colon whatever number you type here, it will be clear.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, could you repeat for me, sir, once again about this to write?
Yeah. So see, I'll take one example. There is the textbook where I have one image for this.
Sir, how to read this textbook, sir? I tried, but I'm not able to get it. How to go into this one?
You have to just click this link,
Yeah, that's okay.
pypod.github.io.
No. Reading means really reading kind of thing from top to bottom kind of thing, but I'm not able to get that one clearly because some of the topics are high-fi, not yet discussed or kind of thing.
Yeah, so you have to follow the textbook as you follow the course. So maybe you can watch the lectures first, and then if you come to the textbook, it will be easier.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, so see, this is how negative indexing works, right? So if you have a string, say world, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the positive indices. -1 will be the last index. -2 will be the last but one, and so on.
Sir?
Right? So -3 to -1 would mean the last three characters, R, L, D.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry for interruption, sir. Can we print like -3 is to -1 to print RLD only? Can we do that?
You
For
tell
the
me,
sake
can
of
we do that?
curiosity? I don't think so, sir. No, I had done that, and my D is not printing.
Yeah, then you have the answer, right?
Sir, that I want to know that why it's not happening.
You have to mention 0 there, not -1 at the end.
So it is not happening because Python always leaves out the last index.
Okay, and if we want to print that last index using that, can I do this or not? Is there any index that can I put on the second position so that I can get
Yeah,
the last?
you can either add 0 or you can leave it as it is. So if you leave it as
I
it
can
is,
add 0.
Yeah.
I tried putting 0 there, but it is not working, I think.
If you put 0 there, it will won't it be referred to the first index?
Right. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, you have to leave it. You have to leave it out. Yeah, sorry, that is my mistake. So let us try it out. No, let us try it out. You can't put 0. You got carried away. So let's do this first. Let's do the correct thing first. If you add 0, then what happens is you get an empty string. Okay, so this is because according to Python, 0 means W, right? The first
Correct. It is going backward.
So if you always move from left to right, but when you give a positive index like 0, it can't move right. So this is -3, and you wish to move right, but then you are giving something which is moving, which eventually it will move left, right? If you give 0, that is not possible.
So only thing is we have to left it blank.
We have to leave it blank. Yeah.
And
-1, what will happen, sir?
If you give -1, what will happen is -1 is the last character, right? D is the last character. So I'll end up printing only R and L.
Okay, it means before D it will print.
It will print everything up to the last character, excluding the last character.
Okay.
Sir, can you discuss the syntax of it?
Of what?
I go through the like documentation of this part because I was researching this thing. I was finding difficult to understand, so I had gone through the documentation part. There was one parameter step. That can you give a brief about that step?
Yeah, so don't worry too much about the step now. So step is kind of, it may be confusing now. We'll discuss the step parameter when we come to week 4.
Okay,
we'll come to that, but for now let's just stick to these two, start and end, or left and right.
Thank you.
Okay, so are there any other questions or problems with respect to string slicing?
I have a question. Earlier you were talking about that error. So we saw that it was a name error rather than a syntax error. So would such kind of questions come in the exam, like the theory exam, that what kind of error would it show?
No. We usually don't ask such questions. See, the kind of questions that we ask will be more of a computational nature. That is
right.
Whatever you can compute by reading the code.
Okay, thank you.
That's only for knowledge.
Excuse me, sir.
Information.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, so like couple of you are trying to ask. Can you please go one at a time?
Okay. So what I
Yeah.
wanted to ask is, for this particular string x, if I want to print every letter by letter,
Okay.
then how can I do that? Should I use slicing is enough, or I have to use loops?
You will have to use loops. We will discuss that in week 3. How you do that, right? How to do that.
Okay, sir.
All right. So I think someone has raised. Who has raised?
Sir, we can do that with indexing also, sir.
You
Sir,
can do that, but what if my length of the string is arbitrary, right? I don't know what string I have with. Then it's a problem.
yes, sir. With this limited knowledge, I am trying to solve this, sir.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So 2 of them have raised their hands. Can you please go one after the other?
Yes, sir. Sir, PPA 5, there is slicing problem. I have problem in that. PPA 5 or PPA 7, I don't
Okay.
remember.
Okay. So can you tell me the problem? We can.
Yes, it was to add the digits of, suppose you have taken 5 in number, like 5 number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you print the addition of it.
Okay. So you want to find the sum of a 5-digit number, right? I mean, sum of the digits. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this can be discussed. So see, first thing is you have to accept the number, right? So you have to accept the number, and then so by default, right, whenever you write the input function, Python is going to take it as a string, right? So this will always be accepted as a string. So x is a string variable. So if you want to see why that is the case, you can run it and enter any number, say 1, 2, 3. So it will, you can see that it's a string, right? So if you enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again that's a string. So this much should be clear. Clear
No,
this stage.
sir.
This is not
We
clear.
don't need to declare the variable, is it? Just like x equal to input of within braces, if we give, it will automatically.
Live session मध्ये queries विचारत का सगळे?
Hello.
It will automatically declare the x variable, and the x is a string variable, string type. That is how it is. It will.
Yeah, Python. So this input, the input function is there, right? Input function by default always accepts a string. So the only thing it understands is a string, and then you can do what you want with it. You can either convert the string into an integer or whatever you want. But when it enters the variable x, it will go in as a string.
By default, it is a string. If you have to change, we can mention it as either an integer or whatever we require.
Yeah.
Integer or float, or even a string for the cause.
Yeah, string, it's already a string, right? So we don't need this str of input of, which is not needed. So
what if we by mistake we input str?
It won't, nothing will happen, right? So it's not wrong.
It is not required.
It is, yeah, it is
redundant activity. It would be.
Yeah. Okay, so once you have.
काय केलं? मला काय बोलले तुम्ही क्वालिफाय झाले. Congratulations.
Okay, so once you have the string, then each digit can be accessed like this, right? So each of this will be one of the 5 digits, right? X of 5 is not there because it's 6th digit, but these are the 5 digits of the number.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you convert each of them into an integer before adding it, right? So you convert each of them into an integer, and then you keep going on. So that is how you sum the, at least for now, until we cover more advanced concepts, this is how we are going to sum the 5-digit number. Of course, you have to print this. You have to store this in, say, some variable called s, and you'll have to print s. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
right.
can you do it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry.
But that's not a 5-digit number, right?
Sir, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 5-digit, right?
It's a 4-digit number. The 0 at the beginning is not a significant bit, so you throw that away, right?
So instead of assigning int integer, can we assign float?
But sir, in string, it matters. 0 is a string. The leading 0 would be treated as a string.
The leading 0 is a string, but as far as the user is concerned, he won't enter 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as a 5-digit number, right?
No. I'm just.
Others, can you please mute, please? There's a lot of disturbance. So, yeah.
Sir, I was saying that can we use a float instead of an integer?
Float would be unnecessary, right? This and a number is. In the question it says accept a 5-digit number, so the digits are always going to be integers, right? So you wouldn't want to use float. Okay, so I think few others have raised their hands. Tayamal has raised her hand.
We can solve this question, sir, by using modulo operator and
yeah, that is also possible. Yeah.
Modulo and that operator.
Yeah, you could do that.
Name, sir. That take integer part.
Yeah, that is also possible. Yes, okay, so I need to move on to others who have raised their hands. So can one of you unmute whoever has?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Myself, timer.
Yeah.
I have doubt this replete console.
Okay.
Actually, I added a folder. Within that, I add 3 or 4 files. Shall I share my screen, sir?
I don't think the permission has been enabled, but I get your problem. So see, what you have to do is when you are adding folders, say folder 1, or let me name it.
Sir, in Zoom meeting, we can't share a screen.
No, it's not like that. I mean, I have to ask the concerned person to enable it, but here it's more of I know what the question is, so I can answer this without no screen sharing. So let me just quickly answer this. See, if you have a folder and if you have a file within that folder and you are trying to do something like this, say print hello world, and if you go back and click run, then nothing will happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the reason this is because replit always runs what is there in main.py.
Okay.
So whatever is in main.py, it will run only that. No matter how many folders you add, no matter what files you add, where you add them, it's only going to execute this, right? This run button is connected only with this file main.py. So if you still want to run what is there in this particular file within this folder, then you have two options. The simple one is just copy this, paste it here, run it, and then delete it. Okay, so that is one thing you could do. The other way is to use what is called an import command. So within folder you have a file called test. So I would do this import folder.test. Okay, and then when you click run, what it will do is it will run this contents of the test.py file which is inside this folder. Okay, is that clear, Tayamal?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Could you repeat the process again, please?
Okay, so if let's say you have created a folder, and within the folder you have created a file called test.py, and now let's say you want to run the script. Basically, you want to run this file and see the output. Okay, so if you click the run button, what happens is that the run button is tied to this main.py. So
yes.
only if you have this content of your code in main.py will that get executed. So, but you still want to execute what is there in test.py. So in such a situation, what you do is you go to main.py and you type this command import space name of the folder. In this case, the folder is named folder. So I'm just going to write folder dot name of the file, right? So if the name, if the file name is test.py, then you remove the .py, you just write .test. So let me rename this and show you what. So this could be say train. I could rename it train. In that case, I should add import folder.train. And now when I run it, it's as good as running this file train.py.
Under the folder, there is another folder by something by cache.
Yeah, that you ignore, right? So that is like temporary cache files. So that is something internal to Python. You can also delete it, but every time you delete it, it will get recreated. Okay, so that's the problem. So that is something you can't avoid.
So we can put these codes in different files or different folders and import them into main PY.
Yeah, so if you want to practice using Replit, you can follow something like this, right? So you have week 1, and then inside week 1 you could create another folder. So let's say strings, and within strings you could create something like say
a file.
Yeah, so something like learn.py, and so I'm learning how to print strings. I'll just reuse the same code. So now, okay, so now can someone tell me how I should change this? It's
imports strings.
String dot learn.
Week one.
Week one.
Okay, so just one correction here. I can't have hyphens, so I have to have. I can have underscores, but I can't have hyphens. So okay, yeah. Now can someone tell me import?
Week
week one.
Week one.
Dot
string.
Okay.
Train.
Dot train.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Oh God.
Okay.
Maybe slash.
No.
It is showing module not found error.
Something is inside string.
Maybe it is.
Oh, it's not. Okay, it's called learn.
Okay, it is learn.
All right. So it is learn and not train.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so that is the way you can organize your files within a
Train is under week 1.
Yeah,
So
train
what
is
was
under
that?
week 1.
So what was that error that just came, sir? Module error.
Yeah, so see, folders and files, these are there is this concept of a module in Python. So a folder is treated like some kind of a module. Module is like a collection of Python files.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the error that you got was you're trying to import a particular file which it treats as a module, and Python says that module is not found, so it's throwing an error.
Yeah.
I said over here you first went to main PY to type this code, right?
Yeah, I have to every time I have to go to main.py to import stuff.
Sir, I was just wondering how the other person figured out that strings had something underneath, and that's where we went wrong. So looking at the error, was he able to figure out that there was something underneath string?
Possibly, I don't know who found out, but that is possible. So see, that's why I initially we started off with this name error. Errors can be very suggestive. So for example, I'll just type something wrong. So if I run this, so it says unsupported operand for plus, right? So it may be difficult to parse these errors initially, but if you stare at them for a sufficient time, you will understand what it's talking about. So it is talking about the operands for the plus operator. Operands
I
are.
was just remembering that something was under string.
Okay.
I said.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good to have that keen observation, because it might help you during the exams. All right. So
Thank you, sir.
yeah.
Excuse
There
me,
are
sir.
many others who have raised their hands. Please
Sir,
let us go in that order. Yeah.
Sir, if I add one more file in string folder, and I want to run that in main tool, sir.
Okay.
But the previous already used import that thing, that line should be comment line.
Okay. So if you want to, I have no
Add one
train.
more.
Okay. So now train and learn are both in strings. So you want to run train instead of learn, is it? Yeah. Then you could do one of two things. As you said, you could comment it out. So week1.strings.learn. If let's say this is already there, you could comment it out and import train instead. Or yeah, that can be done. Okay, so I have to move to the next candidate who has raised the hand. Yeah, so this is Swati Gupta.
Yes, sir. So practice assignment 1, question 4.
Okay. So can you tell me what the question is?
Sir, it is in long form. What will be the type of following expression? Means we need to solve the whole question, whether it is float, integer, string, or boolean. So I just want to know that is it following the Bodmer's formula or something other than that?
Yeah, it is it's the BODMAS only. So if you have a string, so there is something called operator precedence. Okay, so if I have something like this, let me take a simple expression like say 2, no, another 2, yeah. So this will first evaluate. So multiplication comes before addition and subtraction, right? So 6 by 2 will happen first,
3,
right? Which will be
Yes,
3, 1 plus 3 minus 1. So it is not 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 won't happen first, and 1 plus 6 won't happen first. It's the 6 by 2 which happens. So it's BODMAS which will be followed.
And sir, what about division float? If there is a single division and double division, then what will be the first one?
So
in front,
Floor
it will
modulus.
count
yeah,
left, first from the left.
You want to change this like this, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see, division, multiplication, floor division, and yeah, so these operators have the same precedence. So you go from left to right. So if let's first run this and see what it gives us, and then we can. But see, this is a tricky question for me also, right? So I may be wrong also. So let's. This is the actual answer. Okay, so let's now parenthesize this as follows: 1 by 6 by 2 minus 1, and let's see if this also gives minus 1. Okay, so this is the parenthesization that's happening. So left to right. So this operand is there, right? You combine 1 and 6 and make that one operation, and then by 2 and then minus 1.
And so suppose if there is a floor integer, then what will be the answer? Is it in floor only or in integer? Float.
Floor integer, sorry, I didn't get.
No. Is it in, if the question is given in the float, means suppose 20 into 100.0, then answer would be in float only, or it will change into the integer, like simple answer 50 only or 50.0.
The moment you see a float anywhere, it will become float. So
then
float,
answer would be,
yeah, answer will be a float. See, float is some kind of a dominant operator, meaning dominant type. So in an expression, in an arithmetic expression, wherever you see a float, the final result of that expression will be a float. Even if you have floor division, it will still be a float.
No, so floor division will give integer. Division will give a float.
Sir.
No. So see, float. Sir. What I meant was, so if I have something like 6.0, float division 3, that will still give me 2
points. Give a float value, right?
Right. So that is what I was pointing to.
What if you write before this value int, we put int, print int, and then brackets.
Yeah, this will give you an integer, right? Because you're typecasting it, or you're converting it into an integer and then doing the float division. So
No, actually, I was saying int before the whole.
that also will give you an integer.
And so can you explain the symbol of that percentage with an example?
Percentage is just reminder when you divide one number by another, right? So
If there is 2, means suppose 10 is divided by 10 percentage 5, then it would be divided by 5, or 10 is divided by 5, means A or B, which one will be first?
10 is divided by 5 and the remainder is the output of the float division. Sorry, modulo.
Sir, can you please solve it there?
What, 10 percentage 5?
Yes, sir.
10 percentage 5, it is going to give you 0, right?
0.
So it means 5 is divided by 10.
No, 10 is divided by 5.
10 is divided by 5 and there is no remainder, so it becomes 0. It gives you the remainder.
10 is divided by 5, then it will come in the float value, means decimal value. Then why it is 0?
Remainder,
It is
right?
not remainder, not zero, not decimal.
Giving remainder only.
If we make it in float, then remainder we will get remainder.
Can you show her by printing 12 modulo
what if
5?
it is 11 instead of 10?
Sir, can you use the example?
Sir, I didn't get it. Why 10 is divided by 5 gets 0? Remainder is 0.
Sir, I have given a problem in chat box. Can you solve
No,
that?
see, this is your confusion with respect to the math part or the programming part?
Programming part.
It looks
Okay, can you tell me what the confusion is?
Suppose if we divide the 5 divided by the 10, then answer would be 2 and remainder will be 0. But how can a 10 divided by the 5? It will go to 0.
No, your confusion is mathematical. You are saying if 5 is divided by 10, then answer is 2, right? No, right? That is wrong. No, if 10 is divided by 5, only then the answer is 2.
Yes. Dividing 10, not 5.
Your confusion is not program related to the coding part.
Your confusion is about sign. This sign is not related to division, it's modulus, and it shows
remainder.
That I know it is division, but I didn't get why is it 0? 10, how can
because when we divide 10 divided by 5, we found 2.0, and it denotes 2, only 2, not 0.0.
Okay, 10 divided by 5 means
You can take it 11
and 5
Yeah, please take 11 or some other number.
Guys, one at a time only.
Okay, so see, so what is the output of this?
2, sir.
2.
Okay, so Swati, what is the output of this?
2.
So how can 12 divided by the 5? The answer would be in decimal value, na? That is what I'm saying.
This is not division, this is modulo. Yeah.
Okay, see, this is what is happening. I'll just maybe as someone mentioned, the problem is with the okay, so 10 equal to 5 times 2 plus 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 11 equal to 5 times 2 plus 1, right?
Plus 1.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm saying is 11 percentage 5 is the remainder when I divide 11 by 5. So if I divide 11 by 5, forget about the quotient. Focus on the remainder. What remainder you get? 1. So that is what this is doing.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Sir, what if we write 11.5 percentage 5?
That also it will give some output, but let us not go there, right? Because that is it will give an output for everything. Okay, so this we'll have to go in.
So by default it is taking float as output.
It will be float. So moment you 11.0 percentage 5 is also float.
You are giving the input as a float.
Yeah. So
input is float, output is also float.
Output is also float. So at
if
this point,
input is integer, then output is also integer.
Yeah. So at this point, I just like to point this out. See, the operator part is important, but let's not get too much into the type business, right? So it's important, but not too very important. So you don't need to worry too much about that. Yeah, so I have few others who have raised their hands. Divya, Mayank, Mohit, any of them. So who wants to go next?
Hello.
Sir,
Yeah, please. I'll
Sir.
just go in the order, please. Yeah. So.
Sir, in string slicing, we were printing. Instead of printing, can we store whatever we are slicing into a variable?
Yeah. So that can be done. So if you have a word, let's say a sentence, right? This is good. So what I can do is I want to store the first word in this sentence. I can do that. So can someone tell me how I'll store the first word in this sentence? How do I extract that?
0 to 4.
0 to 4.
0 to 3.
Okay, this is like our PPA.
0 to 4.
5.
0 to 4.
0 to 5, sir.
0 to 4.
What
0 to
word
4,
is
sir.
this?
Yeah.
This so 0 to 3.
0 to 5.
Okay,
40,
0
yeah.
to 4, right?
0 to 40.
All right. So this you can do, right? You can extract
Yeah,
any
0
part
to
of
4.
a string and then store it as another
Yeah,
variable.
this is in also the PPA, right?
I think so. Yeah, this was in that branch. You have to get the branch or something from a roll number kind of thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so Mayank.
Yeah, sir. I have a query about contest in SAF. So I think, sir, is there any form or something, Google form or?
No. So contest will come. I'll ask another team member to address you regarding that. I am
Okay.
not the right person, so I'll
Why
ask.
are you using 4 there, sir?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll come back. So contest, I'll ask Mr. Omkar Joshi to come back.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So why am I using 4?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me? Can you think about it a bit? What else do you want to use?
Speech is 1.
I want to use 3, sir.
Okay, let's try that.
Sir, minus 11.
No, 1 second. So who asked me this query? Why not use something else? Why should I use 4?
Sridhar.
Sridhar, yeah. So if I use 3, I'm getting this.
Sir, but what if I use 0 semicolon 3?
0. Okay,
Same thing.
same thing, right, Sridhar?
Yes,
See,
sir.
this is
From
0.
0 is, yes, sir.
1, 2, 3. So everything except.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry. It will take 1 less than 3.
Correct. Yeah, 1 less than.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no problem. So Mohit, next. Mohit.
Sir, is it safe to say that string in Python an array?
Yeah. So you can treat it like an array. The only thing is you can't update this. You can't update a string. You can update arrays, but you can't update a string. So I think this also we need to cover. So for example, let me ask this question. Let's say I want to convert this string to the following sentence, right? I want this particular sentence, which is this tell me some 4-letter word that will fit here instead of good.
Wood.
Best.
Okay, this is wood. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is wood. I mean, I don't know if it is correct or not, but yeah. So I want to change this. I want to convert this sentence into this new sentence. This is wood. Okay. How do I do that?
We change the value of the variable again.
Sir, we can use replace.
No. Let's not go there. Let's stick to basic indexing, right? Very simple indexing, and let's see if that will work.
Okay.
So there is one. See, how many characters are different between this string and
Sentence of -4 is equal to W.
Okay. I want an answer like that. Okay. Sentence of
-4 equal to W. Yeah.
Okay. So this seems like a very good answer. Okay. Let me just run this and see what happens.
Print sentence.
Sir, I think sign is missing. Equal, double sign.
No, single sign only will come.
That's for slicing.
Okay. So look, notice the error.
Strings are not mutable. I think we
Yeah.
cannot
We have
update.
been taught slicing.
We cannot update strings.
Okay. So notice the error. What is the error? Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, as I said, in Python, the errors are very, very suggestive. You have to focus on the errors. So it says str object does not support item assignment. Okay, what are you trying to do here? You are trying to assign a value to some position in the string. Okay, so that's what we mean by item assignment.
Okay.
And it says that a string object does not support it. So this is something you can't do with strings. Okay, you can't take a string.
Convert it.
Yeah, you'll have to convert it. So you cannot do something like sentence of 0 equal to a or whatever, right? So this is forbidden for strings. So the technical term for this is called immutability. Okay, you say that something is immutable if it doesn't change, right? So mutable is something which changes. Immutable is something which does not change.
How can we convert a string to any other data type?
Sir, can I extract OOD from the sentence and then concatenate it with W?
Yeah, that you can do. You can do that. Okay, so before we go there, let's look. Yeah, let's try to solve it the right way. So how will I solve this now? If I can't do this updating business, how do I solve this?
First, we convert
It is
it
equal
into
to this is wood.
data type.
We can concatenate. We will extract pieces and then concatenate with different number.
All right, that seems like a good solution. We'll extract. This is okay. Okay, how will I extract this is?
0 to 7.
Okay, 0 to 7 is it? Okay. So this is part A. So part 1, 0 to 7. I can leave out the 0, right? Because by default it starts from 0. Okay, what is part 2?
-4. -4.
It won't be 7. It would be 8, I suppose.
The string which we want to.
Won't it be 8?
Okay, you have to tell me. You all have to tell me. Which is,
I think it's 8.
It would be 8.
Okay.
Wood.
Okay, it will be wood, right? Part 2 will be just wood. Okay, so the final sentence will be what?
Part 1.
Part 1 plus part 2.
This is
Part 1, comma.
Okay, so let's print this and see if we get the correct answer. Okay, so
we could have also done part 1, comma part 2 also. Print part 1, comma part 2. Print.
No. It will work only in case of numbers.
That will end up printing on extra space. So we'll come to that in week 3.
But how did plus
I think
add a
we have to
space
go till 7.
this year, sir? I didn't get it.
Sorry?
How did you mentioning plus as well get a space in the output?
No, see, whoever said :8, right? They have taken that into account. So this is 0.
Okay, space is okay. I get it. Okay.
In that case, it's better to use -4. 0 to -4.
No, 8 includes that space. 8.
If you take -4, it's easier. Or the space.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point. So if you take -4, then it's till the space, right? This is also correct. Yeah, it's easier to say -4 rather than 8 because see, what if I say that the sentence is this is going to be a very long sentence that ends with a phrase. This is good, and I want to change this character alone to W, right? So in that case, then this particular solution is better.
Sir, it's simply concatenation, sir. It's not replacement is not allowed, so it's concatenation.
Yeah, we are only doing concatenation.
Yeah.
So we need to find the length of sentence
Yeah,
first, then give that.
right. That could also be done. You could find the length of a sentence. Okay, that can also be done. So you can find the length of the sentence, right? You could call that L, and then so it will be what, 0 to L. What should I put here?
-4.
ln of sentence,
minus
right?
5.
No.
-4 or -5?
L minus length of
L minus
what
5,
minus
right?
L?
Because
-4,
it gives the actual length. So
-4.
The actual one is
Length,
Minus
length
5.
length of food minus length of sentence.
-5 should be.
-5, sir.
Okay, let me try.
-3.
Okay, -5 seems to be wrong, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sir,
Sir,
minus 3 na?
-4 works, right? -3 will give me this.
Okay.
Is S of is will be gone.
Right. See, why is it L -4? Let's first look at that. So if I add L, then it's going to give me till D. L -1 will give me till O. L -2, L -3. So L -1, L -2, L -3, L -4. Right? Is
So
that
L -5 we need to give, right?
no L -4, right?
If we do L -5, the space would also
will
get
Yeah.
omitted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we got.
All right. So I think we have discussed enough about strings and slicing.
Sir, I did it in a different way. This one.
Okay.
I did maybe whatever variable like final is equal to sentence, and then whatever index we may take here, plus in quotes W plus sentence the rest of it. That is
Right.
double OD.
Only that G alone you are targeting, right?
Yeah, the G I excluded.
Okay.
So I did excluding that, then plus W, then plus sentence excluding the G. So from the 9th index till the end.
Right. Yeah, that is also correct. Okay, so at this stage we'll come back to the other questions. I want you all to attempt few questions, and then we can discuss other open queries. Okay, so I have this question. Okay, so this is the question. Accept time in minutes as input from the user and convert it to time in seconds. So for example, 140, the input is 140, you must print 220, right? This is, yeah, you must print 220. Okay, so just take 2 minutes and try to solve this.
So I think you got the order reversed. We accepted.
Sorry, it's the other way.
Accept the input in integer or
2 minutes.
string?
Sorry, this is seconds to minutes, not minutes to seconds. That I won't tell you. So all that I can tell you is that input will be seconds, output should be in the minutes to seconds form, right? Minutes : seconds.
So accepting the input as an integer or a string?
No, that as I told you, right? I won't tell you that. You have to figure it out yourself.
So it should be modulus through modulus, sir?
No. Let's not discuss the answer directly. You please work on it, and then I'll give you like 2 minutes. You please work on it, and then we'll discuss the answers.
I got it.
Sir, I think your output is incorrect.
Okay, 2
It's
minutes.
2.33.
140 seconds, right? This 2 minutes 20 seconds, right? I want you to express it as not as a not as a decimal, but okay. So I should probably mention this as time in
minutes and seconds.
Correct.
Okay, fine.
Minutes and seconds. I believe it's convert to string in the numbers. It's been
Can we answer?
Sir, can we post our answers in the chat box?
Yeah, I think that should be fine. That should be okay.
Directly to you or everyone?
Everyone, right? I think many of them are doing that, so that should be okay.
Done, sir.
Sir, where shall we answer?
Okay, so I want to know someone who has solved this problem, but who is programming for the first time. Is there anyone like that here?
Sir, I am doing it for the first time, sir.
Yes,
I am
I'm doing it for the first time.
Me also doing for the first time.
Okay, so I want one volunteer.
I can do it, sir.
Okay.
sir.
Shashi.
Shachi.
Shashi, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll just send you this invite,
Yes, sir.
and then you can type your code there.
Code means what is the code, sir?
Whatever solution that you have, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Where is that, sir?
I'm sending it to you. Can you spell your name? S-A?
S-H-A.
S-H-A?
C-H-I.
Okay.
Shachiran. So where shall I check it?
I think sir send it to you personally, directly. I think
In the WhatsApp.
in the chat.
Okay. I don't see any direct message for me. DM is not there.
Hey, sorry, I kind of got locked off.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I'll just give me a second. I'll have to enable screen sharing.
Sir, did you share your screen? Because it is not visible to us.
No. I need to become a host of the meeting again. I have just requested for that.
Okay, okay. So you're co-host now. Yeah, now you can share your screen.
Hey, sorry. So I updated Zoom and it seems to be throwing some kind of weird issues when I try to paste in the chat. I'm like getting signed off Zoom. So what I'll do is just give me a second.
So you can mail her also, maybe.
Yeah, no, that might be. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
For whatever reason, it's.
सर आप URL ही दिखा दीजिए.
Sorry.
आप URL शो कर दीजिए, हमने टाइप करें.
Sir, now only you show it. Can I spell it? Hello, can I speak it?
Yeah. That would be.
Can I just?
Yeah, you can just
read
tell
out?
me. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
read
yeah.
it. Read it out.
That will be that will save our time. Sir.
Yeah. So just.
So first line would be like we will consider.
No, one second. I'll share my screen.
Just copy paste your code in the chat box. Sir will copy paste it from there.
No, I am afraid to do that because see this chat is only giving me a problem. So
okay, sir.
What I'll do is you read it out this time. Maybe
Okay,
from
sir. Okay,
before
sir.
the next one I'll figure it out.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, please start.
Yeah. Consider a variable a equal to
Okay.
equal to int small bracket input small bracket one again once more. The next line p is equal to a percent symbol.
Okay.
Percent symbol is looking different. Okay, sir. 60. Next line.
Okay.
C.
C, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Equal to a double slash 60.
Okay.
Fourth line. Print C, comma, string double dot. Yes, sir. And then B. Yes, sir. Yeah, comma.
Is that right?
Yes, I
Okay.
tried to do this.
I think it is wrong.
Let us run it. I don't know. Unless I run it and test it, I can't comment. So I'll enter say 140, the example that I had. Okay, so 2 minutes 20 seconds. That seems to be correct. Let me enter some other. Say
Yes, sir.
190. 90 should be what? 3 minutes 10 seconds. Okay. Let's go for something else. Let's say.
Sir, but we are getting extra space there, sir.
That is fine. That is fine. See, in week one, I don't. It's not too much of a problem. 240 should be what? 4 minutes. 0 seconds.
Zero.
All right. Let's
Just
try
40 seconds.
We can remove that extra space, sir. By
Yeah.
Where is extra space?
Yeah,
we can do that, but let's not go into that, right?
So extra space column, extra space 0. Can't you see that?
Okay.
Yeah, but see, let's not get into like two presentation issues and all that. So the conceptually it should be correct, right? You must know how to.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we'll stick to that. So let's let me try something else. What about 30 seconds?
Horrible.
Okay, nice. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, so this is the correct answer.
Sir,
so,
I tried to get a modulus 60. That will give me the remainder when I divide with the number. See, you took 30, so there is zero remainder. 30 remainder because it will not divide from 60.
Good,
and then we double slash will give me the integer what it will be called quotient part of division, not
Good.
remainder.
All right.
So
Yeah.
that I have printed quotient and then colon was required as a string and then remainder.
All right, that's good. So you're programming for the first time, is it? You have not
Yes,
seen
sir.
any.
Yes, no, sir. No, I've never done it.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. So that is this is the correct answer, right? So this is one problem that we discussed. So next one is maybe someone else can volunteer. Again, I want those who are new to programming and have never coded before to volunteer, because if you already know, then it's these are all easy for you. So this question is accept the.
Sir, if I don't disturb you, can I just ask you?
Yeah.
You were teaching about the slice. Where we taught in the lecture, I don't remember I've seen anything about slice in the lecture. Which
Slicing, I think Professor Sudarshan discusses about slicing.
Yes, sir. There is
which lecture, sir? I'll watch it again. Maybe
I don't remember. He takes one string, I think coffee. If I remember the string
yeah,
correctly.
coffee has taken, but it is called slicing as such here.
After Lecture 11. Lecture 11. Intro to strings.
Okay. Introduction to string. In that, yes.
there is a square bracket in which we put numbers.
No, that is
right,
there.
right
I
after
understood.
indexing. Right after indexing, he mentions string slicing.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.11 and 1.12.
Both I will watch. Okay. I have confusion.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, could we just take a look at the previous code, sir, for just a second?
Okay.
Sir, there's a comma after that colon.
Right.
If we remove that comma, will the code still run right? Or will it say there's an error?
You mean removing this?
Yes.
This will be an error, right?
Syntax error, yeah.
Syntax.
Why would that be so right?
See, this print function, it accepts a sequence of parameters or arguments. Okay, so
Okay.
right, so it should always be separated by commas.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I
So
have a question in this.
yeah,
Where B and C were actually integers, right?
B and C are actually integers. Yeah.
And it still prints. It still concatenates them.
Good question. So what happens is print kind of internally, converts them to string and then does all this concatenation for you. Right. So it is not.
Converts it into string. Okay.
That is something that print will take care of. So if you notice, we can print numbers, right? We don't need to convert them to string and then print the string. So that is usually
but
not.
then I didn't realize we could print,
Yeah,
integers and characters together this way.
Right. So that it takes care of it internally.
Thank you.
Sir, how are you writing on the console side?
That you can do. So it's not just for running. You can also do all this basic arithmetic, and whatever command you want to run, you can run it here. So for example, you can even access the variables that you have defined here. So if I type A, okay, no, I haven't run it, but let's say I run it, and once I run it, I can access the variables that I have worked with here. So
New for me.
Sir,
okay,
on which software are you writing the question, sir?
Okay, this is something called Mathcha. So it is developed by one Taiwanese developer. So it's called matcha.io.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it's open source, so you can use it. matcha.io.
So what it is there?
See, Matcha is you can do all sorts of things with it. So the important thing for which I use is for writing equations, right? So equations like this, typesetting equations becomes very easy.
So can you spell?
It is called matcha. Chai, right? So cha is tea in, I think, Taiwanese or whatever.
Yeah.
matcha.
Yeah, matcha is actually green tea. So
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It's called. You should pronounce it matcha, is it?
No. I was saying that matcha is actually a green tea. So it's a pun. So they made matcha.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't know this. Okay. Yeah. So if you notice their what is it called, logo, right? Logo will also have the
tea logo. Yeah.
Tea logo. Yeah. So why is this important is you can use this to type your questions in discourse. Let's say you are in Max 1, Max 2, Stats 1, Stats 2. If some of you are, want to ask questions in discourse, right? You can use this. So you can type your equations very easily here, and then there is a way to copy it. You have to copy the LaTeX part. So if you copy this to LaTeX and you go to discourse and paste it, it will paste the formula as it is. Anyway, so that is an aside.
Sir, how did you bring it here? Matcha is website separately, na, sir?
Yeah, it is a separate website. So, I'm just directly working on that. Okay, so accept the coefficients. Let me just write the question. A, B, and C as inputs from the user, and find the two roots of the quadratic equation. Ax square plus bx plus c. Print these two roots to the console, one below the other. Okay, I hope you all know how to solve quadratic equations, right? This you have done in Max 1 or even during the qualifier. I hope you would have done these things.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just work on it for 2 minutes, and then I will ask for some volunteers to share their solution.
I'm not getting the answers.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just, let's say x minus 2 into x minus 3 will be what? You have 1 comma 5 comma 6 comma minus 5 comma 6. Your output should be on one after the other. It should be 2 and 3, or it could be 3 and 2, right? Okay, so
As output, as roots now, sir.
yeah, as roots.
Okay.
Okay, so does anyone anyone who was totally new to programming, who has not programmed before, has anyone solved this?
Sir, I'm new, but I'm still trying.
Okay,
I can try, sir.
Sapna, you have solved it, or you're still solving?
So I'm solving. I'm trying.
Okay, okay, then I'll just give you all maybe 2 more minutes until someone
So I
can
can try.
Okay, sir.
come forward.
So I can try.
Nachiket, you are new to programming. That's very
Yes.
important, right? Because see that.
Yes,
Okay, you have solved it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll discuss your solution, but let's still wait for 2 more minutes so that others also get a chance to work on the problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so shall we discuss the solution?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Nachiket, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
can we start? Can you tell me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
First, we want
so-
to find discriminant.
Yeah. So Sapna, I kind of promised Nachiket that you would go this time. So maybe next question you can take it up, or we can discuss your solution also once I finish with Nachiket. Is that fine? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, you can go ahead now, Nachiket.
Okay, so the first 3 lines will basically be accepting inputs from the user, which will be A is equal to integer input, bracket and input, and B and C will also be exactly same.
Okay.
Then I have given root 1 as the left hand side is equal to minus B, and then minus into the bracket B double B square, that is B double star 2. Okay, and minus 4 into A into C, and the entire bracket will be double star 2 1 by 2 or 0.5, and then the entire term will be in the bracket divided by 2 into A. And
Okay.
the second, the root 2 will be exactly similar, but instead of minus, it will be plus after B.
Okay.
And then we will have in one line print root 1 and in the print root 2.
Okay, this is correct solution. Let's just verify it with one test case. Let's say what did we start off with?
1 minus 5 and 6.
1 minus 5 and 6, right? So control enter, control in 1 minus 5 and 6. 1 minus 5,
minus
6. Okay, so 2 and 3, right? So that is correct. So Nachiket, you're also new to programming first time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So this is a correct solution. So yeah. Does anyone have any confusion with respect to this solution?
No,
Is
sir.
any? Okay. So
I also
did it,
did, like
yeah.
that.
You also did like this. Okay. Okay. So
I also did the same. At that time, I didn't know what to input, so I just put in my own values of A, B, and C, and it gave me very strange output. When I did it with your inputs, it's giving me right with the same code.
okay, what inputs did you enter?
I think 8, 2, and 3.
8, 2, and 3. Okay, maybe then does it have real roots? So 8, 2, and
Maybe
3.
that's why it's not coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't have.
I think 8, 2, and 3, the roots are complex, right? So it would have thrown a. But it'll be interesting. Let's try let's see what error it throws. 8, 2, and 3. Okay, so it returns complex numbers. Do you see this?
Okay.
This is 0.125 minus something j. So j is like square root of minus 1. So
okay.
1j is like, so if you square 1j, if you multiply 1j with itself, you will get minus 1. Minus 1 plus 0j. So this is.
It is, sir, it is iota, right?
Yeah, iota. Yeah, the square root of minus 1. Voila. So
complex numbers.
Yeah. These is complex numbers. Maybe we can discuss it sometime. So
okay.
Yeah.
Sir, if when I'm running the same code, it's saying invalid syntax in line 4.
Yeah, I kind
Most probably it's because I'm not giving a spaces between all the input thing.
No, I have also not given spaces in my program, but it is running correctly.
Sir, first we find discriminant as B square minus 4AC, and then we have compare it, it is less than 0 or greater than 0, and then we will find root 1 and root 2. If it is less than 0, then we will print like the root will be imaginary.
Right. Yeah, we'll discuss this in next week, right? When we discuss if else, it'll become more clear. Right. So see, there are few things that I would like to discuss here. This is the correct solution, but this can be made more compact or.
So here SQRT
If we define one more variable.
finding the square.
Yeah, SQRT is the
No libraries. I think someone was mentioning about an extra variable, which is what I was also coming to.
Yes, so D is equal to discriminant as a discriminant, B
Right.
square minus 4AC.
Correct.
And then we will, instead of typing whole expression, we just type minus B minus.
Right, exactly. Right. So that is a very good point. This is not wrong code, but this is we are
instead of
we are again typing this. So this is the use of variables, right? This is one more use of variables. Like you don't have to avoid redundancy. What you're doing is you are replacing the whole thing by the discriminant.
D. Yeah.
You're replacing the whole thing by D, right? So this is easier to understand. The earlier code, right? Just look at the earlier code. Since you already know the solution, you understand it. But if someone is reading the code for the first time, they'll be totally confused. They will not know what is happening at all, right? So it is good practice to use variables appropriately. So this is minus B minus root D by 2A and minus B plus root D by 2A.
So how can we add a code statement to mention that print if the root is only real, and if it's, I mean, or just to if the root calculates to be a complex number, then it should print that the roots are not real. Can you please explain?
That will come to in week 2. So if you want to do that, then you have to introduce what is called. So you all done filters in CT, right? If else, so it's not alien to you. So in Python, you would do this as if the discriminant is less than 0, then I would say print complex roots, right? If the discriminant else, right? Else I think you have seen if else in CT. So else, what you will do is you will compute the roots. And you would say, you would put the whole thing in a. Okay, so this is what you would do. So let's take the example of this 8 to 3. So it would print complex roots. On the other hand, if you do something like, what was our example earlier? 1 minus 5, 6, right? So if you do 1 minus 5 and 6, it will give you the roots.
That's great. Thank you.
I have one doubt. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Instead of writing root 1 and root 2, can we combine plus or minus as a single symbol? Is it possible?
Good question. Unfortunately, no. You don't have a plus or minus symbol. That is there in Python. At least to my knowledge, we don't have a plus or minus.
I am very new to the programming. I don't know. That's why I asked.
No. Right. Yeah. So you have to do it separately, right? Okay. Root 1, root 2 plus minus 4.
Sir, for under root, can we use SQRT?
Can use, but you have to import libraries and all that, right? So you'll have to import a math library, and yeah, that you can do. But so the other alternative is a function called POW. POW is power, right? So power of 5 comma 2 is 25. So power of 2 comma 0.5 is root 2, right? 1.414, so on and so on.
1.4, yes, sir.
Right? So you could do this. So if you want it to look, if you want it to be even more clear what you're doing, you could have something like POW of D comma 0.5. And likewise.
So it's not showing the fraction, it's showing the in the float value. Like
sir, for POW,
like
we
it
don't
is
have
half,
to import.
then it is showing 1.414.
2 power half, right? It is.
Yes, sir, it
Sir,
is.
for
But
if
I'm asking like why it is not showing half.
So you're asking why is this value not?
In fraction.
Because it's an irrational. I mean, okay. So there are two reasons. One is fundamentally root 2 is irrational, so you can't express it as a fraction. But more importantly, everything in when it comes to computers, you'll have to express it using decimals, right? There are few. You need to understand the idea of binary digits or bits.
Got it.
I think she's asking why it is not showing half of 2. It is a square root of 2.
I got it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So
after decimal point, how many points, I mean, numbers it will show, sir? After decimal.
I'm not sure. I think 16. I think it shows 16. Let's check this. So one way of doing that is, let's say this is A, and I say str of A, length of
16.
A.
16.
Sorry, 16, right?
16, yes.
Yeah, 16
18.
shows. 18 minus 2, the decimal point and the leading integer.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, so any
Can
other?
I change that?
Sir, for using POW command, will we have to import library again, or simply it works?
No, right? It doesn't require any library. It is a built-in function. So just like print, POW is a built-in function, meaning you can just access it directly without having to do anything.
Just like int.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like int and all.
Why the output is giving the float? Why not it's integer?
That is the way it is defined, right? So by it has been written that way to return only a float.
The output always float.
Output is always float. Let's check.
Give integer also.
Let's check. No, it seems if you give, so if the powers are fractional, then it's going to be a float. So
No, what I mean.
Yes, sir, it's
But the
division operation
quadratic-
will always return a float.
Yes. Quadratic equation, for the quadratic equation, we have given the integer, but the output is coming as a float. Why it is? It's not. It
because
is
of this
0.4,
division, right?
0.4. Why not 2 or 3?
Yeah, good question. So because of this division, so whenever you have a division symbol, right, a division operator,
Okay.
that will always be float, even if you enter integers which are divisible by each other, not by each other. I mean, when say
It's always float.
It's always float. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a multiple of each other.
Yeah, one is a multiple of each other. Even in that case,
it will return float.
Yeah, it will always return float.
Floor division.
Yes.
Will it give integer or a float?
That
Floor
depends
division
on.
always gives integer, right? Only integer values, the floor division.
No. There also it depends on the operator, right? So if it is a float, then so this point you have to remember, right? So this point is, I mean, not very important, but it's good to know. And so float is a dominant type, which
10
means
modulus 3, we get 3 only, right?
10 modulus 3 is
We get 3. Only integer value it gives.
It 1, right? So yeah, 10 modulus 3 1. So it always returns integer provided both these operands are integers.
Yeah, if if
floor
operands are float, then the
10 floor division.
display will be.
Can you try 10 floor division?
Yeah. So floor division. Yeah, 10 floor division 3 is 3. Yeah.
Let's give always it gives integer, right?
Again,
integer
right? Only if your operands are also integers.
Okay.
Maybe because power of d comma 0.5 is returning an integer. I mean float.
Power of d comma 2 comma 0.5 will return a float, right? It has to return a float because
That's why the
0.5 is float.
output is also.
Yeah, that is why the output is
in
also
float.
Yeah.
Sir, if we give print int of root underscore 1, it should be giving an integer, right?
That will be integer. Yeah. All right. So
Here square root sqrt function can we not use because that will I think simplify more process here, the number of lines. If I do like sqrt and complete that that d1. SQRT of t. And then I can do minus v plus the d value divided by 2a.
Yeah, that is also possible, right? You could add the power comma 0.5 here. That is also fine, but see, typically we define the discriminant as b square minus 4ac, right? And not
Yes,
root
yes.
of. So
Yes. So sir, actually, what I was mean to say, like SQRT, I would like to use SQRT rather than POW. And putting into 0.5 there. I was just wanting to put that SQRT in bracket and that complete the whole
yeah,
thing.
but SQRT you'll have to import some library, right?
It
You have to
has to
import.
be imported from math.
Yeah, so math dot is that's
So
why I
are we not
avoided.
permitted to import libraries
You are
during
you are allowed
examination,
to
or
use.
it is
No, you are allowed to use. I don't want to add that now because that is one more level of complexity for beginners. So it's better to avoid that now. Okay, so yeah, so let's now move on to the third question, which is kind of not very complex, but still.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I was thinking about, sir, what about the cubic equation root, sir? How can we get that?
Oh, for that you'll have to first understand how to solve cubic equations. There is one Cardano's method or something. I don't recall now, but that is like going
First we
out
have
of
to know
the scope
maths.
of the that is out of the scope of the Python course.
Yes.
But it's I mean there are good videos online. You can look at that if you are interested.
Okay.
Sir, what is the map, sir, in like POW far you said, no?
How? Sorry?
Sir, what does map MAP means in Python?
MAP is one one function which you can learn in week 11. So in week 11 we'll introduce this map function. You can, if you want, you can fast forward to week 11 lectures and look at them.
Sir, it is there in the code chef first lecture only. So I was thinking what.
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure whether the week 1 is the right place to introduce map, but yeah. Okay, so accept an integer from the user, accept an integer x, right? From the, okay, not x, a. A power a power a. This is rather a simple question. Okay, so you have to compute a power a power a power a, 4 a's.
Sir, we have to take input also.
Yeah, you have to take some integer a as input and compute this value.
We have to print it like this.
You have to compute the value of the expression a raised to the power a raised to the power a raised to the power a 4 times.
So can you give us a sample input and output?
Yeah, so if the input is 2, then the output will be a very huge number. I don't know what that is. So output will be 2 power 16, right?
2 power
16,
2 is 4.
2 power 8, right?
No.
I think it's 2 power 16. If I'm not
4
wrong.
power 2 is 15 power 2 is 256.
Is 2 power 8.
256.
Okay, I think this is the input. If input is 2, then the output should be 65536. Just think about it for a while.
Can you please give some
Sir, it's
example?
done.
Sir, it should
but-
be 256.
Sir, it's done now simply, sir. We take as an input, and B is equal to A2.
Yeah. Just
Yes, the answer should be
print
250.
B.
Yes,
The
sir.
answer is same, but
The answer
sir,
should be 256, sir.
is it 256? Okay, we'll discuss, right?
2 power 2, that is
it's showing same value, sir, but
4 power 2 is 16.
I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
How it's
So
showing
just
output
take
like
some
that.
time.
correct.
Yeah, just take
But
time. 2
answer
minutes.
is correct, sir.
All right. Yeah. Just take 2 minutes and work on it, and then we'll discuss.
Can you please give some example and logical operator after this question? I'm just waiting for sir.
No, if see that actually, if I give you any more hint, it will become, I'll have to give out the answer itself. So let's see.
Output is correct, sir.
Sir, I have one query. It's not regarding this one. Actually, it's regarding the code chef.
Sorry. So code chef, I am.
No, it's like I'm not having the access on code chef. On dashboard, it is given the code chef's contest schedule. But when I'm clicking on it, I have given my username and
No.
all.
Sir, so sorry. So code chef, I am not the person in charge. So I'll ask the person to, have a separate discussion with you all. Right. So that's why I kind of avoided that question, because I'm not the point of contact for code chef. There is
Sir,
one.
Sir, can
Where
you?
do we have to
can you
reach, or we will have any other session for it?
No, I will ask the person involved to either post one announcement or have a session. Either of these two.
Okay.
Sir,
I also
Thanks
have
a lot.
same.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can hello?
Yeah.
Sir, apart from week 1 or week 2, in contest, we need some more practice or some other sources to learn?
No. See, code chef itself is some kind of an extra activity. So
okay, for contest, sir, we need to
contest.
learn more.
I'm sorry. I as I said, right, I am like totally not involved in the contest.
Okay.
So there is another person who is in charge, who is taking care of code chef.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Can you please explain logical operator and or not after this question?
Yeah.
And my answer is working out to 256.
Your voice is loud.
So this output is correct.
Okay, so we'll discuss now.
I actually got this number to 65536.
Okay, so can someone who is
Can
new
I?
to programming?
Yeah.
I'm new to
Yes, sir. I can do
Can I
it,
share
sir.
my
I'm
screen,
new to
sir?
program.
Okay, one of you. I mean,
Can I share my screen, sir?
I can do it, sir.
You're given a province to Sapna, sir.
okay, yeah. So
I can do it.
Sapna, are you there? Have you done this problem? After Nachiket, yeah.
This is Lakshmi. Can I do, sir? Or?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Sir, I can also do it.
Okay, we'll discuss multiple solutions then. Yeah, you can start. What should I do now? What should I type now?
Can I share the screen, sir? Or?
Sharing is, I have to enable it. If you can if you can dictate the code, I'll just type it here.
That is A equals to int input.
Okay.
B equals to POW A comma A.
Okay.
C equals to power B comma A.
Okay.
D equal to power C comma A.
All right.
E equals to power D comma A. Print E.
Okay.
Print E.
Okay. Let me try it with 2. All right. So A power A.
It's 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Given only 3 times.
Okay, so just let me-
Sir has incremented it only for 3 times, although the display
is this correct?
output
In
is
short,
correct.
we can also do that.
Output is correct.
Can I tell you a code?
Yeah, 1 second. We'll discuss this code and then I will come to your code also. So let's look at it mathematically, right? So B is a power a. What does that
That's
mean?
correct.
Yeah, let's look at it this way. B equal to a power a. Okay, so that's the first line of the code.
Yeah.
C is what? Is B power a, right? So C is
B power a.
B power a. So this will be what? A power a.
Power a. Whole power a. Whole power a.
Power a.
Okay,
Not
this
a
power.
power a. Whole power a. It is a square.
Okay, so this is a
A
square.
power a square.
So in our example, so this is 2 raised to 4.
Right. So let's go with this. So D is what? D is
A power a.
It is
C power a, right? So this is
a power a cube.
A power a cube. Power a.
Not power a. It is a cube.
Yeah.
This will be what?
A power a cube.
A power
cube. A cube.
A cube.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
E will be likewise
A power a raised to power 4.
4.
Sorry, a power a raised to the power 4. No, is this what we want?
No, sir.
Okay, but interestingly, it gives the correct answer. Why is that?
2, na, that's right.
Because of the 2.
It's because of 2, right?
You go for
So
5.
Yeah.
let's go to 3. Let's see what the answer should be for 3. Some huge number. Okay, so let me.
It is.
This is what the answer that this particular program gives. So let's look at one more answer and then we'll get back to this.
It is very small number. In the question you have given will give very large number.
Right. So let me come to someone else who also wanted to share. Who's was that?
I sir, I can do that, sir.
Yeah. Can you tell me your code?
My code is A is equal to int input.
Okay.
And then B is equal to POW A comma A.
Okay.
C is equal to POW B comma A.
Okay.
D is equal to POW A comma C. D is equal to POW A comma C. And then print D.
All right. So one second. Let's go slowly. This is huge, right? So this is huge. So let's see what this turns out to be, and then let's get back, right? So B is a power a, right? So we'll just open it on a new.
I also want to.
1 second. We'll just go step by step. So B is a power a. C is
B power A.
B power a. Okay, so C is B power a, which is what?
A power A. B power A whole to the power A.
A power a. But this also has the same problem, right? So I'll get B power a. So sorry, A power a square, right?
Cube. Here we got a cube, and before, earlier we got 4.
So this also, I think this also has the same problem. So
Sir, we can take like A power A in first, B is equal to, and then for C is equal to power B comma B.
Okay. Let's see if this works.
And then
So can I suggest one more?
Yeah, one second. We'll just see if this is the correct one, and then so B is A power A. You are saying that is not changing, and then you are saying C is B power B, right? So C is B power B, which is the same as A power A
Same thing.
This is also not correct, right? This is what? A power.
Can I suggest one more?
Can we put a condition if A is equal to A?
Yeah. One second. So does everyone see the problem with this? Why this is also wrong?
No, sir. No, sir. We don't. Can you please explain?
Sir, can you explain how to get it?
Can I try?
One second. See, C is B power B, right? This is A power A, whole power A power A, right? So when you have X power Y, the whole power Z, what do? You multiply the exponents, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
becomes A into A power A. So A into A power A is what?
A plus 1.
A power A plus 1.
A power A plus 1. We add the multiplication.
Right. So now coming back, we are back to the same problem. So how do I do this thing?
Sir, can I suggest one more?
Can I?
Yeah.
Instead of
Sir, can we use as a
just use that
expression, sir?
One second, one at a time. So one at a time, please, so that we don't get. Okay.
Can I say?
So can I say?
Too many people. How do I pick one?
Please, sir.
Please give me a chance, sir.
So may
Alphabetical order.
Someone who has not spoken so far.
I have many, sir.
You haven't heard my voice.
So what is your name?
Me?
Yeah, your name, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
So I have taken sir x equals to power a comma a.
Okay, A comma A.
Then y equals to power a comma x.
Okay.
And a comma x. Y equals to power a comma x.
Oh, A comma X. Okay.
X.
Okay.
Z equals to power a comma y.
A comma Y. All right. That's all.
Print Z.
I also did the same thing, na?
Yeah. So this is this.
Sir, I have a different method.
Okay, Ravikant. So Ravikant hasn't spoken. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, what I did is I took C as AQ.
You took C as
AQ multiplied by
A cube, is it?
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then again just again powered A to the whole power C.
A power C. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what D, huh?
Yes, sir. And then just print.
Okay,
Same-
but why
same
this
thing, same
3,
thing.
right? So
It is not in the question.
Can I
It's not
say
A cubed.
something?
yeah, okay.
I
Yeah,
have
please go ahead.
done
Sir,
through another
I was-
method.
When we multiply
Sir,
A,
I just
A,
one
it will
line
become
code only.
AQ.
Okay, Swati, one line code. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah. So after it, print bracket, small bracket,
Hmm.
starting with 3 bracket, starting 3.
Is
Yeah.
that okay?
No. Sir, just remove all the bracket. One by one, we can close that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So bracket A star star A. Now close the bracket. Then again star star A.
You want me to close the bracket, so I have to open it again, right? So
Yeah. One more. Then go to last.
now star A, is it?
Yeah. A.
Okay.
Then close the bracket.
Okay.
Star star A.
Okay.
Then close the bracket.
Okay. So this seems close to the correct answer. Let's look at it.
Sir,
But yeah.
Sir, can I add one thing?
Sir, is there I need to add a bracket?
Actually, bracket is not required, sir.
Correct. Yeah, we'll come to that. Yeah, let's
remove the bracket,
Output is different in if we open the bracket, then output is different. So I close this.
Yeah, 1 second. We'll come to this. I'll just tell you why this could be a problem. So I'm closing this here. Wait, there are too many brackets, so it's like I am closing this here. I am closing.
One more closer there. In last only.
We should start bracketing
Only
from
one,
end,
only
end
one,
side.
sir.
Last in the last.
Okay,
In the
this is your
Yes,
code,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. See, let's see what you're computing. Again, I want to go back to this window. You are first doing A power A, right? You are doing A power A. Okay, that is the innermost thing. Since that's the deepest bracket according to your bot mass, that will be computed first, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so once I compute this, and then I will raise it to this power. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So then this is happening. But then here itself, I have a problem.
Again, same condition.
So then we can remove all the bracket. Then answer would be a little bit different.
No, sir. We should start bracketing from end.
Yeah,
side.
you should start bracketing from the end. Okay. So, in fact, will this work?
Yes, sir.
This work for 2. I done it.
It works
Yes.
for me, sir.
It works.
I-
Sir, it's working.
This works. This
Okay,
works.
so this
It
will
works for me.
this will work, but as
Yes, sir.
But it's not working for 3, sir.
I'll just come to, I think who, Rohit or someone, I don't know who mentioned this. We have to bracket from the end, right? So see, the fundamental confusion with this expression is that how is this actually computed? Okay, so you start from the end. A power A you do first.
Yes,
And
sir.
then you do A power A power A. And then you do A power A power A power A. So
But when we solve the mathematical equation, we go with from the ground, right? A power A. We
No,
start
no,
with A
no.
power A.
no, even for the mathematics part,
That's what I was saying.
yeah.
No, we
We
see A
started
power
from
A
the end,
give you some
not from the
big-
first.
Again,
No.
like that. We solve from
Correct. Yeah, but in this case, right, when you have this kind of nested exponents, when you have exponent on top of exponent on top of exponent, you can't start from the bottom, right? You have to start from the top. So if you start from the bottom, it will be total confusion, right? So you have to start from the top. So you have to compute this A power A first, and then you are sure what the exponent is. Then you can do base power exponent, right? So you need to know what exponent you are dealing with first. So then you do A power A power A, and then finally you do A power A power A power A.
Yeah.
Sir,
I think
sir,
the
can you-
PPF7 has have same question.
Sir, can you?
Yeah.
Sir, can you explain this one with other letterings like the x to the power of I put to the power of z to the power of a kind of thing, sir?
Yeah, that might be better. Yeah. So see, if you have,
I'm leaving. I have another class, sir.
yeah, sure. So if I have x power y power z, what I do is I don't do. So this is not equal to x power y. What is this x power y? Okay, you don't do this first,
We'll
and
first
then
X
do this.
power Y. No,
Because
sorry,
what is
Y
this?
power Z.
Right. What is this expression actually?
X power y z.
This is x power y z, right? So this is not the way you do it. Instead, what you do is this is actually equal to x. You first compute y power z, right? And then you do x power that. That is how this happens.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Earlier, sir,
We are leaving.
Yeah, please. Yeah. So I'm also going to close the session now. We are almost done. So
We have another session too.
yeah.
Can you please
Thank you so much, sir.
logical operator and dot?
Sorry.
Can you please explain logical operator?
Okay, logical operator. Yeah. So with that, we'll close. I'll just explain the logical operator and then. So what logical operators do you want clarity on?
Hello, sir.
And
Can
or
you tell me answer of this question?
Yeah, please, sir.
How to?
This is the answer,
This
right?
question is tough.
So
Yes.
this is the answer. So see this.
So, sir, it
Yes,
is
sir.
work on only for 2, not.
No,
not
it will work
3.
for 3 also, right?
Yes, it is working for all.
It is working. See, it's like a huge number. That's why it's taking time. See, if you look at 3 power 3, it is 27. 3 power 27 is this. So you're trying to raise 3 power 7 whatever, right? So your replet is not able to process.
Sir,
can I say one thing, sir?
Yeah.
Sir,
method, but
it
not
is
yet
working
seen.
because it is going from left to right.
Right to left, right? So
Right to-
exponentiation goes from right to left.
But if
I done
yeah,
this
right to
method.
left.
I done by
Only
this method, but
exponential
not
was-
yet. by
Yeah, only
Right.
exponentiation goes from right to left.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, so I'll just explain the logical operators and then we'll have to end the session. Please join on Monday. We'll be discussing more. So what exactly do you want to know about logical operators?
Examples and, all, and not.
And see, and it's like CT, right? Whatever you have done in CT, nothing new here. So if I say x less than x greater than 10 and say y less than 20, right? So this is what? This is a true statement or a false statement?
False.
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 Okay, why is it false? Oh, x is not greater than 10. Okay, sorry. Let me change it to x is greater than 8. This is true, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
sir.
so that is it's as simple as that. And is, if you have true statements on either side, then it results in true. If you have even a single false statement, it will result in a false. Or is just it's so you have done CT, right? So CT, I hope you have done.
Yes.
Okay, so it's exactly like CT, and or behavior is very similar to what you saw in CT. Not also is same. So not of x greater than 8, right? So if x greater than 8 is true, then not of that will be false.
2 seconds.
Okay, thank you. So I think we have come to the end of the session.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Good night.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Yeah. Someone wants to ask something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there's a overlap between this session and CT session on every Monday, sir. I mean, throughout the month. Some of us have taken up CT and this course, Python.
Okay.
So there's an overlap across all sessions on Monday, every Monday.
No, I think it is not possible that you can take CT and Python.
No. So there are some diploma entry students, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, sir. I am a direct entry diploma
okay.
student.
So, okay, I will ask. I'll
Sir,
talk to the concerned people.
I have written a mail to the admin also, sir, but I haven't yet received any reply. Could you also please raise the issue?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk
Because
to
both these subjects are very new, and missing out on any of the class would be a major loss for us.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll
Okay.
talk to them. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I had a question. So if the operative precedence are same in the same line, then what is the execution? It goes from left to right.
So it goes from left to right, but for the exponentiation operator. So if you have something like 2 power 3 power 4, exponentiation operator alone goes from right to left. So it will do 3 power 4 first, and then it will do 2 power that. So it's like this.
Okay.
But if you have something like multiplication, right, it will do normal left to right. So it will do 2 into 3 first, and then it will do 2 into 3 into 4.
And one more thing. So basically, we have and as a keyword as well as ampersand, double ampersand, which also does the same effect. Is there anything specific that we have to use anywhere?
No,
or they can be used interchangeably?
No, actually, you know what? So this ampersand thing, I came to know only last term. So one of the students mentioned this ampersand. So until then, I was not aware of it. So it's not very important for now, I would say. You can stick with and for the logical and forget about ampersand temporarily.
Sir, what is ampersand?
Sorry, what is that?
What is ampersand? You are just talking about it, no?
So this ampersand is this symbol, right? So you can apparently you can use this to as a replacement for and say No, I don't know. So I have never used this actually.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Right. So
Got it. Yeah.
I would say stick to and the usual and.
Yeah, we will use
right?
and only.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, how I did, sir, when power arrays, sir, they will be multiplied, right?
Sorry?
So in power arrays, like a to the power a again to the power a, all those power will get multiplied, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you have x power y into whole power x power y whole power z, it will become x power y z. But this is x power y power z, right? So this is slightly different. Okay, this is the exponent itself is raised to one exponent. No, but don't worry too much about this. This is like just one funny example. This has nothing to do with programming actually. So you don't need to worry too much about this.
So is it possible to create this power ladder through that power function that POW?
Through power function. So let's try. I don't know. I haven't thought of that way. So you could do say 2 power. I guess something like this would work because.
So you're missing the second argument.
Is it? No, right? So
yeah, for the innermost power function there is there, but for the rest of the power functions
it is right. So
yes, sir, it is working.
So okay, so I'll go step by step. So I'll do.
Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
You get it right. So
yeah.
So you could do this this ladder thingy using power also. I mean, maybe this is more elegant.
So in this we write the 2 prior to the power symbol. Means we can't write power to 2 and then comma.
Right. All right, then I think that we'll have to.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how can we input a string? Can we input? Are we able to input a string in Python? I just asked because suppose we have to input suppose in date form. So if we input 12/12/12, so how can we input that date into that slash? I mean, how can we input that slash in
like this? You're saying 12/.
12/12/12. So usually when we give input, we convert it into integer and we just have to type it 12 or 12.
So see, you don't need to convert always, right? You don't. This integer conversion need not always take place. By default, Python deals with strings only when you accept input. So if you just write input without converting it into an integer, you will get this date as it is. See 12/12/12.
So in order to get you have to just enter the number 12 and 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I think we'll have to stop now. If you have any questions, we'll continue on Monday.
Just one last question. There was something called raw input.
Raw input was there in Python version 2. Okay, so raw. I think it was there in Python version 2. It's no longer there in Python 3, if I'm not wrong. You can search for it. See, you can search for it in Stack Overflow. It is there.
Yeah.
It was there in Python version 2, but in Python 3, it's always they have made it simpler. It's just input off.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, I think we'll have to close now. Thanks for joining.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.